If the stumbling block of money's bad, money's evil, so give it to the pagans that hate me. Like, that's literally what you're saying. Not to mention
communist Christianity.
It is literally communist Christianity. And the problem with communist Christianity is that it hurts Christians.
Ruslan.
When people click on a YouTube channel, do they think that electricity, shelter, cameras, and Wi-Fi are free? Is that the presupposition that people go into it with? We would all agree that those things don't grow on trees.
They definitely don't grow on trees.
They definitely don't grow on trees. And so if there's something that's happening, if there's a YouTube video, a show on your Netflix, a documentary on Amazon Prime, a movie, I just find it bizarre that we have no problems with paying for Netflix, paying for Amazon Prime, paying to go to the movies, paying to go to all of these different things, and criticize the Christian creator for saying, hey guys, I got a $5 a month Patreon. It'd be amazing if you partnered with us. It'd really help us out, right? So that we don't have to be dependent on AdSense, because sometimes YouTube will demonetize videos. Sometimes we can get a community guideline strike for saying simple things like men are men and women are women. Like, hey, we got a merch drop. You can buy some merch. We're not making millions off of hoodies and t-shirts here, guys. I just find it so telling that people will pay for godless, wasteful stuff by corporations who literally hate you.
Darkness.
And hate everything about what you believe, and think you are pioneering hate speech because you believe simple things like Romans 1. And you will pay for all those things. You'll shop at all the stores that don't like you. You'll buy the things, right? And then when you have the opportunity to tip the scales in the other direction, we're not building the next Amazon Prime here, okay? We're not building the next Google. We just want to get great videos out about conversations people care about so that we can help shape the way people think about these things. When you have an opportunity to support that, instead of supporting it and saying, hey, you know what? How can I support? I see you have all these, you can buy some merch, you can sign up for Patreon, like, that's dope, man. How can I give something? Maybe you're not Amazon Prime or Netflix, but maybe someday you can grow to the level of a Christian Daily Wire, where the gospel is prioritized over political ideology and culture war topics, which I think what Daily Wire does has a time and a place, and I think they do some good work, but they don't preach the gospel. Hey, thank you so much for subscribing to our newest YouTube channel, Mastermind My Business, the channel where you get access to information on how to create, how to grow, and how to learn. But I wanted to show you something kind of crazy. Over 71% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing, turning that bell notification on so you don't miss anything. All right? I appreciate you. Peace. Maybe by me partnering and giving $5 or $10 a month, in a decade from now, we could have something the equivalent of a Christian Daily Wire as you guys scale and bring on more personalities. Man, maybe that would be a good contribution and be a massive net positive. Even though I don't agree with all your views, Ruslan, that's fine. You don't have to. I don't demand that everybody agrees with my views. But I see the value of what you're doing enough to click into one of your live streams and be a subscriber. But gosh darn it, I'm going to keep giving my money to the pagans and to the people that hate me and then complain to the Christians who are actually trying to edify me. I don't understand it.
And there's another side to the whole coin.
Okay.
The other side to the whole coin is this idea that in the comment they said, everything you do in the show is subtly pointing to ways people can give you money. And I actually like to flip the other side of the coin. So I don't think about of like, how can we collect money from you guys? I just see it as people want the thing on the other side of that dollar bill more than they want that dollar bill. So the comment is from the presupposition that making money is easy.
Yeah, true.
Making money isn't inherently difficult when it's value-based. So regardless of the volume of people that go onto Patreon or go onto the merch store or buy the prayer journal, regardless, right? There's individuals that will decide to spend $26 and buy a prayer journal because that solves a problem for them that actually benefits their life more than the $26 does.
Sure.
So I view it as we're only providing opportunities for you to take action and invest into your life if you deem it worth it. No one's forcing you.
That's good.
So we're simply providing value by exclusive podcasts, faith-based entertainment, long form every single day that you can access on Patreon for only $5 a month and discounts to Christian apparel. And so if someone says, oh, I actually invest in entertainment in these other places, I actually want to maybe switch what I'm consuming to primarily Christian content, I'm going to go invest in some creators, Alan Parr, John McCrae, Ruslan, whatever it is. But that's their decision.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't get to switch their consumption habits if it wasn't for you creating a Patreon. By offering this thing, the person that buys it then determines whether that's valuable. We've sold certain pieces of Christian apparel that have just as much effort and just as much quality that goes into them, and not a lot of them sell at all. They don't sell, like, people are just, that doesn't seem valuable to me.
Right.
Then we put extra time. We create a new design, a new concept.
Sure.
We think of a packaging that you're passionate about that then can translate over to conversations in people's daily lives, alliterations for how people should be living their Christian walk, priest, provider, protector. And then we just put it out there. And it could quote unquote flop sales wise, but there's still a segment of people. So whether it's successful or whether it's unsuccessful is completely dependent on the decision of the buyer of whether that's valuable or not. So by us offering that is just simply like, one, it is a way for you to support the show, but it's like, I don't view it as like you're supporting the show. I view it as like, we gave you an opportunity to buy something you wanted more than that amount of money.
That's right.
And so I'm like, I'm not even tripping about like
That's good.
money and like how much money is coming in and like all this stuff. Cause it's like, I don't feel like a scammer.
Yeah.
I know what we do is we provide massive value.
Right.
And so when people get something, they're pumped on it.
I think what I'm saying is, though, I think this paradigm is a stumbling block for people.
Yeah.
And so if we could expose how antithetical this is to just common sense,
Even just to the other markets.
It may help them say, okay, maybe I'm tripping. Like maybe I'm wasteful. Our Patreon's growing right now. We just sold 1,000 prayer journals. Like we don't need to mastermind how to make more money, guys.
Yeah.
We just need to mastermind how to make better stuff that you guys like, which is what we do all the time. So someone's like, we should get together with all your Patreons and figure out how to make more money. No. We're doing fine. What I'm saying is, if the stumbling block of money's bad, money's evil, so give it to the pagans that hate me.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what you're saying. Like money's bad, money's evil, so give it to the pagans who pagan. Not to mention
Communist Christianity.
It is literally communist
It's like,
Christianity.
Yo, I don't get how Christians can make money and love God.
Right.
So we're all going to be broke and we'll give it to them.
Right. And the problem with communist Christianity is that it hurts Christians. And it hurts Christian creators, it hurts Christian business owners, it hurts Christian mechanics, it hurts Christian plumbers, it hurts your local church, it hurts a lot of people in the process. And in my opinion, it hurts the gospel going forward. Because you're so confused about what this even is that you're assuming that everything is subtly pointing. No, it's not subtle. Nothing's subtly pointing. When I tell you we got an amazing prayer journal that'll change your life, I really mean that. And there's a couple hundred people here that have bought it and will tell you that it really changed their life. And they really mean that.
And people pitch us products. The other day, there was a stream where people were like, you should sell a planner. Planners are super in. You're like, I never use a planner. I'm not convinced that'll change anyone's life.
Right.
So there's a decision to not do certain things.
Right.
So that the certain things that we do are even more valuable.
And I have no problem saying, hey, go get the prayer journal. Hey, get the Yahshua's Dream hoodie. Why? Because when you put this on, it will remind you that life is not about you and your dreams, that it's ultimately about trying to live Jesus' dreams for your life. I have no problem with saying that. So I don't need to subtly point to anything. I can just tell you directly, hey, go buy it because it's good and you need it. Even if you don't know you need it, you still need it. You need a prayer journal. You may not know you need it, but you need it.
It's kind of facts.
Right? So anyway, Paul was a tent maker and an apostle. He probably made some money. I mean, listen, we can get into the depths of Paul being an entrepreneur and saying that, hey, when I was preaching the gospel, you guys should have been taking care of me financially. Don't muzzle an ox. While at the same time I'm saying, but you know what? I just worked because, by the way, they did take care of Peter and Paul. I mean, they took care of Peter and the other apostles. They traveled with their wives. And Paul's like, yeah, but I didn't want to make that a stumbling block. Not to say that that's the way, saying that this is actually the way it should be, and I don't want to get in the way of that. So I just worked and ran my small business on the side while I was preaching the gospel. That's in 1 Corinthians, right? And so, having said all that, I think the more, like, I feel like before we get into, like, before we could even get people to change their mind about their current realities, we first got to just get people to change their mind and relationships with themselves, right? Like, when you come and you say, like, all your stuff subtly points to ways people can save money, that's an internal conflict in you because, one, it's not subtle. And I have no problem with not being subtle. Two, you should be excited to figure out ways, right? Like, I put money behind things I value. Some things that are straight up charities, like all the nonprofits I partner with. Other things are products that I use. Other things are ministry that I support, right? So you should be excited about that. And if you aren't, and this would be my question, if you aren't, why would you give me your most rare commodity, which is your attention and time, only to show up to a stream and criticize? Joke's on you. Like you might as well just not even watch. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get it.
Because what costs you way more than the $5 a month on Patreon or the $26 for the prayer journal is your time.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that reason is also why we say we appreciate you guys for being here live.
A lot of this, I think it just comes from a poor theology around money. I like what Zach called it. I think that's what we should call this video. Communist Christianity, because I really think that's what it is, and I think it's a stronghold. Like, and I'm choosing that language intentionally. I think it's a stronghold, and it's cute when you're 19. Like, it's cute when you're 19. It's gross when you're 29 and you got a family.
Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast as they are streamed live into the community before anyone else gets to see them, get to interact with our guests, get access to our private Discord server, and a discount code for our store for as little as $5 a month. Ultimately, that will help towards helping us continue contextualizing the gospel using media and podcast here on YouTube. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.